It's just not the word of a sight. It's about vitality. It is about illumination. It is the sight. It is
Mm,
intuition. It is opulence and the newness that comes through it. So I felt that it was just not a simple thing that we can say about things that are the light projecting into into the retina, and then we are seeing an image. It goes much beyond that. It is about our emotions. It is about the ancestral imprint, and so on and so forth, which gets reorganized in our mind, in our brain, and that's what our manifestation happens. So that's where, when these six qualities come together, they are naturally working. And where I call up, when I use this word, is neurosensory. It is all about this energetic pathway that the vision come to into in its harmony. And when I speak about this pathway coming into harmony, I'm referring it to the meeting point of not just the biological, but also the subtle system. It is all the subtle system of the sight. So, on a neurosensory level, the eyes is an extension to the brain, which is continuously sending signals
mm,
that construct our perception of the world. And at the same time, when there is stress or fatigue or any emotional distress or disconnection or a distort that is happening, it is dimming. It's becoming, our awareness is becoming smaller and smaller. And at an energetic level, the same contraction then becomes static light body. So it is
mm.
unprocessed emotion, ancestral memory, mental overlay that clouds our inner lens, and therefore we are unable to move forward in our life because our vision is not 360. Our vision becomes 45 or 30 or even lesser.
That is very interesting. One of the things you said that really got my attention, and let me know if y'all are picking up on this. You said that what we hold in the eyes as static and this lack of seeing or stored unrepressed emotions gets stored in our static light body as well. And then this clouds our inner lens. Um, I know we're not offering medical treatment advice guidance, but I've got to think that a lot of the challenges people are feeling with vision, physical vision right now, and then we're going to get to sort of the energetic side of this, but the physical vision, some of that is also driven by things we don't want to see, right? The emotions that maybe we haven't processed. What's your take on that? What have you been shown?
Absolutely. In fact, my calls are driven with the questionnaire that is sent to the participants, and I saw that in the physical itself, it was like the short-sightedness, which is
Hmm.
the narrowing of sight, not able to see anything. It's only immediate, which is fear-based. It's limited focus, just seeing for this moment, not going beyond that because of the fear. And then you had the glaucoma, which is also a quiet buildup of your inner pressure because your visions are becoming narrower. Then, when you look at a cataract, cataract is nothing but a cloudiness on your eyelids, which is related to the grief that you may be carrying. It's not just the age, but it's also the grief which is accumulated, and that
Wow.
is the heaviness of it. Then, when you have the degeneration of the eye, which is the fading of your central sight, again, there is a disconnection between your core vitality and your purpose. And the last one which I saw was the dryness of the eyes or the fatigue. Yes, there is the overload of the digital and of the constant strain that we are putting on our eye day to day, but it is also the depletion of the and the imbalances that is causing this kind of a distortion, which is also coming through our overstimulation. Because why are we looking at our devices so often? Because we are just
Hmm.
going through reels after reels after reels, not realizing we must have spent like half an hour because we are trying to get a distraction of our lives. And that is resulting in our physical, where our eyes are turning dry. And there is another contribution, which is the pollution and other things. But when I look at it at an immediate level, the distortion of this is causing the dryness or the fatigue in our body and in our eyes directly.
Amazing. Let me know, everyone here, if you are dealing with something in your eyes that is physical. I'm very curious because I love how when we look at the eyes, you don't just see them as like this physical thing, right? There's always an emotional component behind that. I'm very curious of what some of the things that we don't want to see. And I'm going to ask everybody here, is there something you do not want to see that you've been avoiding seeing that you are very aware of, because that very well could be causing a physical manifestation of, well, I don't want to see this thing, so therefore I'm not seeing. Very interesting. You also describe the eyes as like a living gateway. They're a gateway to what's not, I mean, it could be a gateway to so many things, but what are they a gateway to?
They are the gateway to they're the bridge between the perception and participation. So, when our neurosensory and our energetic circuits of vision stabilizes, the eye stops operating only from the receiver of light and begin to act as a conductor of our consciousness. We are we are not getting ourselves limited, we are expanding ourselves. And at this point our gaze become generative. They are no
Mm.
longer just an observer of reality, they become the influencer of that too, because I as a person have complete
Oh,
control, and I as a person have complete all the choices available to me. So when you can sense this, that someone whose presence feels like luminous even before they speak, because they are
mm.
carrying that kind of an aura about themselves. And how does a person increase the aura? Because of the perception it has and it has been holding of itself or expanding itself. And so therefore when I look at this, when these gateway open up fully, our perception expands from efforts to allowance. We are not pushing ourselves, we are not hiding away, we are not, because I feel it's not just by closing our eyes that things stop existing, even when you are seeing. And I can give you an example of that. I knew of a client that had a very disturbed and a dysfunctional family background,
Okay.
but the child could not see that the parents were in disharmony. It had
Mm.
completely blocked that vision. And its understanding of relationship came from that, and which was cued to having a dysfunctional relationship thereafter, but was completely blocked because could not for the for could not express itself, could not speak that yes or accept, because what
Mm.
it was seeing was dysfunctional. But the mind kept saying that this is the way and this is the
Yeah.
way. And therefore, so when the nervous system starts relaxing and when the energy that was feeding tension or scarcity is now released to the flow, the prosperity which was stopped now becomes open. Our frequency then starts becoming more coherent to our vision, and our vision becomes more in alignment, more clarity, and it starts reflecting that, because as we say, so within, so without, with our vision of what I'm trying to perceive and manifest, because the manifestation can only happen when I can visualize it. And it's
Yes.
not with my just the physical eye. I need to visualize it. Like that's why when I look at vision as a program, it's just not the physical eye. It's about my intuition. And how do I tap into my third eye if I have to work on my intuition, my manifestation when my third eye opens? So when I have to open my third eye, I need to work on my scarcity, which is in my sacral, or my fear, which is in my root. So I feel like all of it is like they work in a, it's like they work in this entire crisscross manner. And energy doesn't work straight, it is any which way a crisscross way of working. And
Mm.
so therefore the eyes and every, and if when we look at our eye, it's got such brilliance, it's got so much of light. Now, that light can be reflective of your inner being, your
Yes.
higher consciousness. And sometimes when you look at people's eye, they look tired, they look sad because they are holding that emotion, they are carrying that in their eyes.
Yes.
And therefore, the entire world looks dark, or it looks gloomy, or and because of that they are attracting those kinds of circumstances or
Yes.
situations in their life, and then we wonder, why is the world so bad to us?
Yeah, we go back to Matthew 6:22, as I said earlier, the eye is the lamp of the body. If the
Hmm.
eye is light, the body will be full of light.
Absolutely.
We can say conversely, if the eye is dark or scarce or doesn't want to see, the body will respond. And this is, getting to just how manifestation works. What you don't want to see is going to maybe create situations where you're not seeing so well, right? So we're going to look at the emotional side of everybody here just to open the door to more things that you can experience and see that you want. I got to share a couple stories. Anna says, I do not think I am yeah, okay, here it goes. Okay, wait. There's a few people that were saying something about eyes. Okay. Um let's see here. I do not think I'm avoiding seeing things. Uh but I have had years of struggling to see through them, and I still have lots of floaters and different things in my vitreous. Another person, Jill, I have dry eyes, short, long sight, floaters, and Belephartis. I don't know what that is. Belephartis. I fear the future and other things. So let us know. Like, I want everyone to kind of feel into if you've been experiencing eye issues. Is there something that you just do not want to see or that you're not able to see sort of emotionally? And, Zana, you're talking a lot about the sort of neurosensory creation that we're doing. Tell me about abundance, because abundance, emotional memories, ancestry, you've said that all these unspoken stories, some of which we may have even inherited, can affect us in how we see the world, prosperity, even possibility. And what's really interesting is some of these things, they're not things we saw. They could be things that our ancestors saw that we are now looking at through their lens in our own eyes. And I think we may have had a freeze up. We're really on the Zanata, are you there?
Yes, I am here. I am
Oh,
here.
oh, okay. Did you hear my question?
No, you went into a little bit of freeze.
Oh, I froze. Wow. Okay. Well, we'll check that. So my question was, with regards to the eyes and some of the things that we are not able to actually see and perceive and create, some of that you mentioned is ancestral, that we've actually maybe inherited almost like blockages or belief systems that are not allowing us to fully see what is possible.
Yes. What I have noticed is that we all carry our DNA, our RNA, our genetic makeup has every aspect of our lineage. And I, for one, believe that I am my own ancestor, which means that I have seen things, I have experienced things, and I'm coming here to resolve it or to heal it. And therefore, I am sometimes clouded with my what was then. So my past
Mm.
definitely comes riding along with me. It is not in isolation. I am a composition of all that. I am just not one small nebula, a small little, it's not a speck. I am the whole universe, and the universe is within me. So if that is the theory, and if that is true, I carry all of it. And therefore, with when I am working on healing that aspect of me, I am actually giving myself the permission to release that stuckness, that scarcity, because it's no longer required in this dimension or in this timeline. It was at that timeline, and that is what I have come back or incarnated to release that or to heal that. And therefore, every money or prosperity, scarcity comes from our lineage or our loyalty to our lineage. The imprints that are there in our packages of our DNA is come here now to be, you can say, it needs to be reworked, it needs to be realigned, because if that was good and if that was true, I wouldn't have come back. And the reason I have come back is to release that and to heal that.
Absolutely. And I can tell we're kind of getting into some very high vibrations here, as we kind of push the envelope of the matrix, because some people said my screen was locking up. Another person, Nicole, said Zanat's screen was locking up. So I've closed a few things down, should fix the program. So y'all let me know or fix the problem. One of the things you looked at, and we are going to grab some callers here in a moment, are these four portals of sight that we actually have four ways, which is very interesting, that we see and perceive the world. What are the four portals of sight, and what do those have to do with our own awakening and changing our reality?
So when I was looking at these portals, I look at them from the physical to the emotional to the mental and to the prosperity, the energetic. And these four portals, what I started seeing in them is that each one carry some five living elements that needs to be addressed at various levels, whether it is at the physical level, whether it is at the emotional level, or at a mental level, or at the energetic level. And so when I'm addressing them, whether it is like, if when I look at the emotional aspect of it, it's the fatigue is there, there is the fog in the eye, there is the restlessness, there is so much grief in the eyes, there is the cry, that there are tears in the eye that never cried out, the overburdenedness when I look at it from the emotional aspect, the
Mm,
hesitation that is there. And the fifth one, which I saw in the emotion, was the longing to be. So that's just the emotional aspect of these, of the one of the pillars, which is the emotional one. And so if I go deeper, then when I looked at it from the mental perspective, it was the fog of the doubt, the scarcity lens, the backward gaze, where I am always fearing I can't move
wow.
forward. I have to keep looking back, or I am looking at the windows that are shut, or I'm looking at a view which is completely tarnished or has got multiplicity of complexes in them. And
Right.
that is at the mental level, where decision making or the inner conflict is so high that my perception and my indecision does not allow me to move forward. And then when I came to the energetic part of it, I the energy always talks first is about the ancestral. Then it talks about the field where there is heaviness, there is fragmentation that has happened. The third one which I looked at was the spark which has died away, which is due to the death of your own life force, where it is diminishing within you, or the misalignment of your lenses, where the separation between your higher self, your spiritual side, is moving away into your physical. There is a huge gap that is getting created. And the fifth one was the closed gateway, where you are unable to release the block, the receptivity block, which is you're unable to close that or open that to receive more insight, more activity, or to allow to become the unseen to become the seen. So these were the four, which then got themselves further expanded into five layers, I would say.
This is incredible. I wanted to write all those down because you went through so clearly so many different emotional blocks that I think a lot of us probably have gone through either at some point in our life or now. Will y'all let me know if you feel like you've aligned or you maybe have experienced or are experiencing one of these areas? And Zanat, I do want to grab some callers because if you are in a challenge state in your life, I'm curious. Zanat may see very clearly where that block or that lens is not fully open to the reality that is waiting for you, to your highest timeline reality. And Zanat, what are some signs maybe that in these different fields, the physical, the emotional, the mental, or the energetic, someone is not fully open to that full sight gateway? And I kind of want to revisit some of these, but what are some of the signs that this is kind of blocked in someone's life?
The few of that which I have seen very prominently is that a person, when is ready to move, but at the same time, due to the fear of the unknown, the unseen, is always going back into the victimhood.
Right.
And
Okay.
that is one of the biggest thing that I have seen. So no matter how much work they may have done, and again I would say to every listener on this call that all work that you have done is contributing. It may not seem the way our mental mind would like to perceive it, but it is working at the highest level. And you showing up for this call today or being part of these calls, it is only the proof that it is working. So, and
Mm,
when we get stuck in that, the pattern, or we find ourselves that, but it is not happening for me. Whenever when I keep correcting my clients when they say, but it is not happening for me, shows to me that there is that stuckness. There is that need to be there because there is this lineage that says you cannot move forward. There is the mother programming or the father programming or the ancestral, the great 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 grandfather programming, or the women in the household have lived like that programming. I
yeah.
can see those things and I can gauge that, yes, want to move but cannot move, or
Mm,
find it resistance to move because of the unknown. And everything, I think, once we accept this, that the only constant in life is the change and everything else is nothing is true, but the only constant is the change. And when we start releasing the fear, and it Darius, it's not sometimes not very easy to release that fear because our entire foundation is on that fear,
yes.
and that keeps us alive. So releasing that and to be looking at new perspective takes time, but
Mm.
it happens. But the reality is that it can happen. So we have that willingness. I think the first step is the willingness to it.
I'm getting chills. This is really amazing. And a lot of people are writing in about vision shifts based on certain life events. So I want to know, and again, we're not doctors or offering medical advice, guidance, or treatment, but what I'm very curious about is where maybe something happened in your life, and then all of a sudden your vision did something out of the ordinary. And we want to look at the emotional side of these things, the emotional energies around that. So let me know in the chat. We are going to get to some callers. Did you have an experience that then created a change in your eyes or how you see? Now, one of the things that this is going to maybe tie into that I'm blown away by, Zanat, is you've spoken of the strain of seeing and ultimately releasing the strain of seeing. What are the signs that somebody is holding a visual or energetic strain to see?
Mhm.
And of course, we're going to talk about how to release that. But to tell us about that.
So when a person, especially when people come with, they feel a lot of strain, like they are unable to see basic things. Like the strain does not let them look at new happenings or
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
that they have. Things are happening, shifts are happening, but the acknowledgement of that, and that is the stuckness. I feel that when people see that. Every frequency we
Mm,
give out is an interpretation of how we see things. And I feel that if our sight is a record keeper, they record everything that we are either feeling or actually
yes.
physically seeing. And in our sight, our tension, our self-doubt, again, the biggest one that completely breaks down our nervous system is the fear and the pressure. And
Mm,
these strains are mostly what I see. They are the restrictions. They do not allow opportunities to come forth. And when the eyes become clear, whether it is through the physical, emotional, or energetic, the field becomes more reorganized. And in that, the nervous system, when it is relaxing, new opportunity, because our vibration has changed, our frequency has become different, and that attracts new manifestation of new things. But we need to be in that resonance, and the gaze becomes very important. It becomes, it is the discerning of our gaze, and our outer world, our mirrors, have to then align with that. So when people find that their interaction is shifting and money begins to flow in, or money is an energy, and therefore you start seeing new invitations coming in, compliments are coming in, you're being given discounts, or you are getting happy bonuses. These are everything that shows that you and your perspective, your
Mm.
point of view, your vision has shifted.
Yeah, this is so incredible. So we're going to be talking about this from the prosperity side, like Sanat just mentioned, because those doorways can get opened. But also, I'm getting a lot of comments and not from people who are writing in saying literally they had eyesight changes based on life events. And so Martine said my eyesight decreased when I had to leave home and change countries. Christiella said watching my best friend suffer through her transition actually was when her vision started declining. Another person, yeah, Martine had to leave for safety reasons. Another person, Rebecca was diagnosed with vision loss, and a lot of emotional trauma was happening right at that time. Her situation was a family situation. Martha, after a car accident, she's been seeing double. Yeah, Renew says I was stressed with bringing up twins at 3 years and working a full-time job. I was unhappy with my marriage. And then her sight or his sight just changed overnight. But these things were going on before that. So there's a lot that sort of feeds into what may seem like a sudden sight change. And it sounds like Sanat, at some point, we're unhappy with what we're seeing, what we're experiencing. And this is then the universe saying, well, you don't want to see it that way anymore. Your wish is my command. Now you don't see the same way. And so, what we want to do with this program, everyone, and what we're doing today is we want to take the wheel, right? Because we get what we put out. And if we don't know what we're putting out, or we don't even know that there is a lens from an ancestral situation, and we don't realize this is how we're seeing things, guess what? Like we could go down that same path. So now I want to grab some callers if that's okay. I know we could
Absolutely.
go on. And this is just amazing. Yeah, when we're forced to see what we don't want to, we just say, you know what, we're not going to do it. Yeah, I know. Well, if I'm freezing, it's because we're definitely breaking the matrix here today, folks. Let me go to some callers' questions. It's pretty amazing stuff. Whoever wants to write in, raise your hand. We're going to get some callers. Let me go to Rebecca, who has been pretty active and has shared a few things. Rebecca, I'm going to send you an unmute request here and hopefully start your video if you can, or if you want to. And if we don't, we'll go to Haya. So let me see, Rebecca, if you're able to. If not, we're going to go to Haya, Haya. All right, looks like Rebecca's unmuted. Rebecca, what's going on today? How can we help you?
I'm not really sure. I have a lot of emotional trauma as I was growing up, as I
I
expressed to
cannot
you.
hear Rebecca
Yeah, I can't
clearly.
hear you right now, Rebecca. Can we hold off on that? Let me go to another caller here just because it's going to be difficult. All right. Hiya, I'm going to unmute you really quick. Hiya, are you there? And how can we help you today? What's going on?
Good afternoon. Thank
Good
you for calling
afternoon.
on me. And thank you, Zainat, for being here. This has been amazing, and everything's been resonating for me so much. I've actually experienced what I call ascension symptoms in my eyes in the past, and thankfully the pain has stopped. But sometimes I do still feel some fatigue, especially when I'm processing a lot of energy. So I was just wondering if you have anything to share on that. In particular, it's my left eye where I feel things a lot. And it's not
Kurumake,
age related
Chimake.
because I'm way too young to be experiencing this stuff. So I know it's all the energy stuff that's happening.
Kurumake, Yatayana, Hamake, Selke, Laleke, Lulu, Ruli, Yaraka. So what I'm seeing is that the first thing as you started speaking, I was shown that the grounding is a little off. And also there is a shift and receiving. So perhaps there is some work that needs to be done because the left side is about receiving. And the left eye represents the right side of the brain, which is expression, which is creation. And then again, they show me back into your feet. So even though, okay, there is a advice for you that when you are going through through the shifts, through the processing of energy, you need to really earth yourself. And also look at how you are embodying the word trust. So now just check and tell me how you're feeling. How is the eye feeling at this moment?
I'm feeling good in the eyes. I wasn't feeling the fatigue today, so I'm not able to
Mhm.
like tune in on a physical level, but everything that you're sharing totally resonates because receiving and trust and all the root chakra stuff has been, I guess you could say, areas of growth for me for sure.
And this goes to all and everyone. It's about the left and the right side of the brain where there is this the divide, the separation, and then when there is this unity that comes through that activates the third eye, and the glimpse of it, the illumination of it into your eyes, your physical eyes, and the gleam of it that comes into your energy field. So when you work with when you're working with your eyes, and when you are working, and I will be the one aspect that will speak the truth to you, because we look at eyes as not only the vision but our doorway to our souls, to our higher self. And when I look at the eyes, I look at our monad, when we connect with our higher self, when I want and I'm ready to ascend and move into my spark. And that's where the vision comes in. And that's where our ascension, the portal of our ascension, is also. So please take care of your grounding. Please take care of the energies that you are bringing in and the trust. What energies are you inviting in today is the question that you ask. And that is the question that will help you with whether they are powerful energies, they are light energy, or they are dark energies, because everything comes in together nowadays.
How are you doing?
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that felt really good and that resonated. I guess I just have one quick question about like the brain. You were mentioning that there is, I guess, not balancing or maybe not harmony. So is there anything you recommend around that, or is that more of what you will facilitate in the program itself?
That is something that will be taken care of when I'm doing work. And because when I take you through the School of Silence, and that's where that's a lot of work that happens in the gateways at that in those
Okay.
temples.
Okay. I
Okay,
want to
thank you so much.
God
thank you.
bless
Yeah,
you.
we're gonna go to Jean just to try to get to as many people as possible. Jean, you've got your beautiful video on. I just wanted to say hi. How can we help you
Hello.
today?
Thank
Hi.
you. Thanks for choosing me. I have pressure in my eye. I've been diagnosed with pressure in my eye, probably what they call pre-glaucoma. I've been trying to take herbal medicine for it. I'd love for a scan to see if there's anything.
So in the program, when I'm doing the physical eye, I do look at the glaucoma also. Amurukarakati piki uluruki anamakarakati. Ipisipiki tuluruki alarikiti piki luruku makarakata pakarakata. Pirikiti piki tuluruku tokata. And as the glaucoma stands for, it is the inner pressure. Purkutu pukutu lurukuta. Parakaniki kitu ukutu lurukutu mikiti. Alarakata makata. It's about urukutu piki ilirikiti piki tulurukutu. It is the inner emotional compression, the feelings, the Ilerikiti ikutulurukutu pukutulurukutu. It is about you're holding on to the energy of grief. Ilarikata marakata larakatulurukutu or parakatapakata or the grief or unexpressed emotions. Amakata larakata pakita larakata, and therefore it can rise within you. Alarakata, and it is being held back tears. So perhaps when you're not able to cry it out, speak it out, say it out, ilirikitapikita, the fear of burdening others or disrupting the flow of peace and therefore holding it back. Ilirikitapikitapikitulurukutupukuturukuta. And as we say, the eyes are literally, they keep a watch. They carry the responsibility of awareness of the heart that has not been voiced. Emeke tolurukuta perike ulurukuta. So the amount of pressure and the over responsibility and the tension that you may be holding on to, perhaps it's the time that you need to give yourself the permission to release that. Also, the frustration, that resentment that may be coming through and that has been not allowed to express and has been ignored all this while. Imilarekata peketa larakata, and the biggest of all of it is the fear of it. Ilaremakari peketo luru karapakata peketa, because seeing means acknowledging, and if I don't see, I don't have to acknowledge it, and therefore I don't need to take the responsibility of it, and therefore I don't get burdened by it. Ilareme ilariote alapeshalnakata, and therefore the tiredness of holding on to this facade. And somewhere and sometime it reaches a threshold. And there is the tipping point of all the pressure. The volcano just does not erupt. The lava just does not flow. It is the pressure that has been built up from eons and eons. And the disappointment of life. And the need to be over vigilant. So please tell me how you're feeling now.
First, tears were building up, and nearly everything you say is so true. Between grief and responsibility, and thank you.
And perhaps, if you don't mind, but if you can give yourself the permission to love yourself, because it's not about the love that when I say, it's not the cliche love, it's the acknowledgement and the gratitude that you give to yourself for holding you for this moment, till this moment, and will be holding you to beyond this. And that is, for me, the understanding of love. Now, I am not talking about the cliche love. It's about the acknowledgement and standing and saying to yourself, I did good. I hold myself, I did good. Because if we are expecting somebody to come and pat your back, that may not happen. And so you have to hold yourself and say, I did good. And perhaps that acknowledgement is going to release that stress, that pressure from your eyes.
Thank you.
God bless you. God bless you, my love. God bless you.
Bless you, Jean. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Wow. Yeah. I mean, I wrote somebody, life can be very challenging, and we are witness to so many things that just can affect us. And so we've got to give ourselves love. And I love that description you gave, Sanat, just to free us from all these things that are clouding what could be. And that's really what this is about. I want to give everybody a gift, and it's going to be through you, Sanat, because you've got a process you're going to be doing. Tell us what we're going to do today for everyone here. And then whenever you're ready, we're going to dive into that. I can already feel the energies. I mean, I've been having some weird sound issues, and just like it feels like the systems are just like, whoa, we're getting into some very high frequency stuff because it's affecting our technology. But where are we going to take it now? Tell us.
So when I was putting down the process, the prosperous gaze, it just felt so correct to do it for the community, where I'll be working a little bit on attunement of the sensory, the neurosensory, which is for us to hold our awareness on how we see and transmit that energy. So it's a small process, and we see how we flow through with that.
And so this is prosperity gaze.
Yes.
Is that okay?
Yes.
Interesting. And how do you define? Well, let's just do it, and then we're going to see where everyone winds up. So I have no
Yeah.
idea what we're going to do. Let's experience it.
It's about bringing in the clarity. It is about bringing in the shift and being at ease. Tumakea namu se lalike puruke lara. Manake to eke atalara kata. So nice, gentle breath in and out. Mukumakaya pesha besamike to lulukurakata. And as you're breathing in and breathing out, Mikela hina makiyanata. And as you listen into my voice, Mikela yuno kuyatanata. And every word that I say, every chord that comes through, Namukulali enami nehati kirukutarakata. Your body becomes lighter and lighter. You feel the ground, you feel the seat beneath you, and the gentle weight of you that is being formed. Numukurukutu mukuturuku numakatiyata makatapakatalekiuna katapeshamakatapikitulurukutalarakata. Namanikete pikitulurukurukutu makatalarakate. Kirikete mikete rikete pikitalarekete pikitalarakata pikinakatarakata pakatalarakata. And now as you bring your awareness to your eyes. It's not about what you see, but what you feel. Notice the muscles around your eyes. And the spaces that is behind them. The pulsation that is running through them. Some eyes may not have slept. Some eyes may have seen nightmares. Some eyes may have seen just despair. Some eyes may have seen hurt and pain and scarcity. Eyes may have seen the lack. Allow all of this to come forth. Tarike me yalari unama kariya tame samekelarata. Kamarakete peketo lorukuda makata larakata. Know that all pulsation, all subtle nuances that is coming through you are ready for it to be released. Laramakarapeketa larakato mukoto lulukoto pukurukoto mukutarata. Numukoto mukoto lurukuta larakata. And as I say this, all emotions, all feelings, all physical Karamakatapiketala experiences are now coming through. Karamakata, and they're coming in deeper into your socket. And as you exhale, they are all moving away. Allow the gaze to soften. There is no focus that you need to have. It's your permission to being here is more than enough. So allow your eyes. Halarakata namakata larakata larakata pakata larakata arakata pakata larakata rakata rakata. Allow your eyes to soften. If you wish to close them, allow them to blur. Larakata makata larakata pakata larakata pakata larakata. And sense this beautiful light that is moving behind your lids. Feel the energy going through them. And as you breathe, beautiful, warm, golden golden light coming in, forming like a pool at the center of your forehead. And this light moves to the back of your head through your optic nerves, soothing the pathway that connects your sight, the brain, and your heart. Hum tarakataya tariyana suniya and with each breath you releasing everything that you may be carrying. The heaviness, the pressure are softening. The pressure is softening, the rhythm is coming in. And as these codes flow through you, through your neurosensory lines, through the temple of your crown, from the eyes to your heart, the realignment, the readjustment. The heaviness is releasing, the strain is releasing, the clarity is coming through, the peace is setting in. You're learning the new language of trust. हम sarakatape ki tolorukutu pukutu tolorukutu. You may sense color. Ilarakatami ki tolorakatara radiance. Hilarakatamaka, or simply you might feel there is amount of space that is now created. Hilarakatamaka tabaraka tolorukutu pukutu pukutu. Arakatapiki talarikatapiki Ire diri 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 shara katana katarakata ashara katani kete ketulurukutu arakatepiketulurukutu and through the space you create and you tap into the prosperity field around you. Through the light. Hamsa shasami ke toru kutu puku tulu kutu puka tari harakata hansha sarakata makatora katalara she sirikiti pikiti kutu. Feel the radiance moving outward through your gaze, through the presence, through your field. You can see, you can sense, you are receiving. Your grace. They are now attuned to the prosperity, to being prosperous. They are relaxed. They are light. And there is luminous and there is awareness. Oh, ha. Mahakarakata Baha Samahana Katarata. Samaha, Samaha, Samaha. And as this light flows through, now moving from your third eye, from your physical eye, from your throat into your heart, from your heart into your higher heart, and settling in And from here, it beams through all your vortexes, aligning and balancing you. Karamaha nike utonukutarata. Tamaha, kamaha, kamaha. So when you're ready, you can bring your awareness back to your surrounding. Feel this light within you. Carry the softness and the rhythm into your day and allow what you see to reflect the light. Alakiuna kayanata, that now lives within your gaze. Tukeata, 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 naha keata nata. Gentle, gentle breath in and out. Kumakai to mehasamike to pelu likito purukuta paka kimiki rikiti pikiti 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 rikito nukutarata. Nice gentle breath in and out. So whenever you're ready, please open your eyes, have some water, and do let us know how you're feeling.
Wow. Wow. Let us know. Yes, especially if you're just opening your eyes right now. What are you feeling? What looks different? What feels different? What did you perceive and how are you seeing and feeling now? Very interesting. So now this was really wild for me because I had my eyes kind of open and closed. And when you said relax your eyes and just let the gaze go in and out, immediately I felt like this wave just kind of got released out of my eyes. And it felt almost like a curtain, like a very clear curtain got pulled open. And I was able to let something go. I don't know what it was, but it felt like immediately something just, as the curtain got pulled, something fell away. And it was like I felt this like tingling, and I was just like, okay, whatever that was, I don't know. I'm okay with it. I'm just gonna let it be. And now it just feels different. Like I just everything feels different. I'm trying to process, but definitely it feels like something got released. Um, so yeah, very cool stuff. And I want to hear from everyone. What did you experience? What did you release? What shifted? Or maybe, what kind of were you feeling? Is
I
amazing.
think, and even I think some of them would also feel the vision has become more brighter.
Let's ask that. Do you
Yeah.
see or feel like your vision is different? Do things look brighter? What is going on? Heat, cool. Let's see what's going on with folks here. Wow. And Amita said something actually lifted, but it wasn't from her eyes. It was from her left leg. Interesting.
Fantastic.
These energies can be anywhere. She says, thank you. Something lifted up from my left leg. It was surprising because I was focusing on my crown following the meditation. Wow, something let go and lifted, says Nicole. She got really hot, actually started sweating at one point. And Janice, I was actually going to call on you. Then we found Jean was right there, but Janice during the call was actually seeing halos, which I guess are kind of like, little blurry, and now they're gone. So Janice had that leap. So let me know, did anything shift visually for you all? Pretty amazing. This is coming in more and more. Martina has no more pressure in her head, which is pretty awesome.
Lovely.
And colors are more vivid. Yeah. Amazing. Another person, April, this was so sweet and gentle. I felt warmth in my cheeks. I could feel a lot of congestion clearing out of my face and throat. And my face looks so much brighter, says April. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Awesome.
It's just coming in here. So much softness. My vision seems clearer. Nice, Gail. Oh my gosh. Heather, that was so beautiful. I felt
Thank
warmth
you.
and tingling in my arms and hands around my head and face. The tingling in my face has become stronger. I felt the pressure on my forehead. Wow. And I feel peaceful and joyful. Amita says, I guess a block was removed from that was blocking my inner sight. Haya, that was amazing. I had a profound experience during the process. I recalled how my vision was fixated on lack for many years, and there was pressure in my eyes from the residue. Wow. The pressure I felt often was in my left eye. It surfaced. I felt a wave of energy release, like Darius said. I mean, they just keep coming in. And this was like a taste. This was a taster. My eyes are clear. There's a calmness over my whole body. Oh my word. I can't even read all these. Oh my goodness. Halo's gone, something lifted. Wow. Keep sharing, everyone. This is amazing. Let's see what else is going on here. This is like gentleness. My thoughts feel fully cleared. Wow. Lots of pressure was back at my skull. Now it released. I feel a deep connection to my heart. Yeah. It's just going to keep going on and on. I think people are going to be feeling these shifts over and over and over again. What I'm very astounded by or surprised by is that, and we talked about this, or maybe we started like opening the periphery on this, is that the clearing of the eyes saw things in the body clear. And remember, if the eye is dark, right, or the eye is holding something that is not our truth, do you think it's possible, everyone, type in yes or no, that your body might also hold something that's not your truth, right? The eye is the lamp of the body, right? I'm just going back to, Matthew, but, this is ancient spiritual truth. So if your eye is holding something that is not of your truth, is it possible your body also could hold that? And maybe you feel things lift out of your body. Janice says yes. Christiella says yes. My heart was breaking and it was crying, and now I feel peaceful. Wow. Scotty says this is why Zanat is a pioneer. She is.
Bless you, Scotty.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Zanat, what are you
Thank you.
thinking? I mean, this is something we're really opening. I mean, it keeps coming in. I've been clearing my throat chakra, says Haya. Wow. What do you think? What are your thoughts? What's coming in from spirit for us?
So as we progress, as we move forward, we need to align and realign our eyes, because our eyes is also connected to all our neurolinguistic pathways, and the realignment of that helps us for shifting our perceptions, our point of views. And the imbalances and the depletion needs to be erased, distortion needs to be erased, overstimulation needs to be erased, direction needs to be set, and purpose has to go beyond. And everything that happens is the child observing and absorbing it through the vision as an adult, experiencing it then. So it's, as I see, is that every time when a child or an inner child of us is experiencing certain things, we experience that in our reality, in our physical reality. So when we realign ourselves, these energies start shifting and our reality start manifesting something different for us.
Amazing. Amazing. Yeah, this is a big part of what Zanat was opened up to share and wanted to share. And I want to talk a little bit about an opportunity that she's doing. And this was so important. I left, everything streaming to the whole world because, I wanted people to have this process. And we're going to be diving into what you're doing for our season 30. It's at uwealthrevolution.com/Zanat30. And Zanat, I want to talk about this because this was a little taste, and my gosh, the comments are still coming in, but I want to share what you're going to be doing because you are going to be helping people to actually change the sight matrix and open up the 4 portals of clarity, of vision, for clarity, vitality, prosperity, and more. So if you feel that you are seeing decline, sensing decline, check this out. It's at uwealthrevolution.com/Zanat30. And Zanat, tell us a little bit about this. I've got so many comments on this page. It's amazing. But tell us a little bit about what this deeper work and this deeper experience with you may mean for people here today.
So when we start shifting or we start changing our perception, because it's everything is all about is the perception. And when we start going through and working through our perception, I think we can bring in bigger realities for us. And one of that is prosperity and abundance in our existence. Renew it, because we all are abundant, we all are prosperous in our way. It's our renewal of that is required. And so when the sessions came through, they looked at these as physical portals. They looked at them. And the biggest thing that I realized when I was working through them is the school of silence, where every session
Mm.
we go into a gateway where the school of silence, you are working with that energy. And also the school of silence is not such that I can only take you to one. Sometimes based on the group's energy, I go into multi-layered or multi-dimensional planes, and there could be maybe one school of silence, or maybe we'll be going to three or four depending on the group and the energy that they bring in. And so, in each of the chambers of School of Silence, whether it's in Mintaka, whether it's in Orion Belt, and whether it is anywhere in Atlantis, I feel that it opens up with the resonance, and its own purpose is to heal the aspect that you have come with. So, whether it is at a physical level, whether it is at an emotional level,
Mm.
mental level, or an energetic level, its work gets done. And I feel it's an experiential. So, and because it is so experiential, it brings in the shift that is required.
I love this. I'm going to be sharing the page. It's at uwealthrevolution.com/Zanat 30, and you can follow us here because we're going to keep the teaching going. It's /ZEENAT 30. Now, one of the things you're going to be doing here that I think is just absolutely mind blowing is you're going to be doing some live sessions. So you are going to be feeling the energy of the people that are on this, the beautiful souls, and working the realignment. And I want to talk about vision, the vision modality, the experience that you created. Vision is not just the seeing. This is I guess, an energy framework that you uncovered, and it stands for vitality, illumination, sight, intuition, opulence, and newness. And this is what's going to come on the other side of this. Explain a little bit about that. I think that's amazing, and that's a big piece of what you're going to be doing is bringing in the vitality, the illumination to where we really see the world we want to create, the sight, which is, really being able to see things richly, intuition, opulence, and also bringing back the newness to our reality, to our world.
So what I so when I was given the title, and I thought it's just a vision, and I was corrected that it is just not. It's Vision, and each has its
Mm.
importance. Each is it's a foundational, it's a pillar. So when I look at vitality, it is the physical restoration. When I look at the illumination, it is the gaze beyond the beyond. It is not just it's moving from the emotional light is being turned on, and you can now look
Wow.
beyond that. When I look at the sight is about perception. It is a refinement of that. It is to bring in the ability to see more clearly. When I look at intuition, the intuition is of the sight, which is going to strengthen your gut and your higher octave of your vision. It is a shift in your perception. When I look at the opulence, it is moving, it's the energy of abundance that begins to flow. It is the opulence isn't just about materialism. it is
Right.
it is about radiance. It is about receptivity of life, ready to receive. And finally, when I look at the newness, it's like when you are traveling through these layers, what comes up is your new perception, and that is that new reality is set in for you. So that's where I was amazed with the way I was handheld through creating this. And it was very clear that when these six elements come together, they are going to bring that harmony that you require. They are going to bring in, and harmony is not a small word. I feel when we just look at the word harmony, it's not about just the peace, it's about the rhythm, it is
Yes.
about the resonance. And one of the things that I also see about harmony is our ability to discern. It is
Mm.
our ability to make the choices. and to stand by those choices. And that's what harmony is. When I have made a decision, I am aware of that decision, I'm acknowledging it, I'm in responsibility of that decision, and I'm in tune with what is going to happen. And that's what harmony means to me when I'm looking at it.
Amazing. And I got to say, my internet was totally fine. And then as we started diving more into this, I heard like these weird little like lags and stuff. So everyone bear with me. This is so many things get opened here. This is beyond just 4 calls. This is literally like a whole new gateway. And I want to talk a little bit about what you're doing, because one of the things that we're going to dive into is each of the sessions, and you're going to be blown away by what is happening. But I'm going to share, if you want to go to the page and follow along with us, it's at uwealthrevolution.com/Zeenat, Zeenat 30. Now, this is your all new vision, which is a light language neurosensory system that recodes your vision at the root. Now, remember, vision, as we're using it, is this acronym VISION. So we have to understand those components, which we've been talking about. But I want to, if everyone can see my screen and my internet hasn't blown up because of the energy, you're going to look at the eye as a gateway of light in the physical portal. There's some interesting things here as you kind of think about maybe what's going on with you. Again, we're not treating disease or offering medical guidance or anything, but they are, just like Louise Hay said, in her book, Heal Your Body, Heal Your Life, or there are heal your life, heal your body. They are physical manifestations that flow oftentimes from emotions. And so you're going to be looking at this, and we've got it here. So interesting. Explain a little bit about this first call. It's going to be taking place in November, and what's going to be happening in this session.
So during the sessions, as I will be looking at the short-sightedness, the glaucoma, the cataract, the degeneration, the dryness and fatigue, what work happens during these calls is that I will be taking the participants to the various gateways, and through those gateways, we would be working on the eyes. And through the resonance of sound, through the resonance of the light language codes, the geometry that is created, I will be helping or assisting, right? I would not be helping, I would be assisting in bringing in in taking these projects and opening the doorways of perception. It is to bring in the ease, it is to restore, and it is to prepare the entire nervous system, because I feel that the entire nervous system can get choked or blocked is because of especially with our eyes. I feel like even at a personal level, I used to wear specs for the major part of my education. And that is when I realized that what is it that I do not wish to see? I could not see long-sighted. I could not see properly. And when I started working, the first thing went off was my specs. Now, due to my age, it's not returned, but yes, there is a number that I have, but it is age related and it is not emotion related. So there's a huge distinction. And therefore, when I'm working with the participants and in the School of Silence, they will be given the remembrance. They will be taken through the network of the neurosystem architecture, where the brain, the spinal cord, and the nervous system will be worked with, along with the subtle body, with the energetic layers of the physical body, the auras, the meridians, all this will be taken or addressed and healed, so that when we have a healthy eyesight, or when we understand the reason behind that, it starts healing and the opportunity starts becoming visible to us.
Amazing. Amazing. And one of the things that you're going to be doing, Zanat, which I am really happy about too, I believe you have a way that people are going to be able to interact and submit as they get into the
Yes,
program. Tell me about that, because one of the things you wanted to do was really know what's going on with the audience, right? What are they dealing with? And
absolutely.
okay, we're going to talk about this, but take a look at this. The next call is going to be the eyes as a keeper of memory. So this gets just amazing. Are you experiencing maybe, and you're going to be able to submit these things into this questionnaire when you join the program. And this is November 27th, the live call, the uncried tear, the overburdened gaze, the weight of grief, the hesitant look, the longing to be seen. Everyone, take a look at this. Are any of these describing your subtle emotional imprints in the eye? I am blown away by this. And I want to thank Michelle and our team for just the amazing work she did on this. This
Oh,
page is
yes.
this is like a I mean, this is like a blueprint to the eyes and how we code reality, folks. Zanat, this is astounding. I know why my
Yeah.
internet was going crazy. Tell me about what they're going to be submitting for everyone.
So, when there is a questionnaire that is going to be sent out, and I would really appreciate and for the participants to fill up that, because
Yes.
what I realized was that when they write back to me, and when I am in my own way preparing for the calls, and when I understand what is happening with the group, the call co-creates itself. So,
Mhm.
yes, these are benchmarks that I'm going to be looking at, but there is something that goes beyond that. And that also gets covered in the call when the questions are being answered by the participants. And also I feel that I'm assisting, and I always say I am the assistance here, but you create it. And so when you participate in this manner, the call becomes more and more healthier for each
Yes.
one, because you are benefiting. And when at the end of the session, after the four calls, when you re-look at these questions, or the questions that will come after that, you will know where you stand. If you were at 10, are you at 10 now, or has it come down? Or what is the big shift or the big realization that happened? You're making a note of that. And that is why I feel the questionnaire is important. At least for these calls, I feel it is very important.
Yeah, people will be able to share kind of where they're at, and then your energy becomes available for Zanat to begin to formulate this. So you are going to be, in many respects, heard. And what is going, it's a very detailed energetic questionnaire. It's incredible. It's at youwealthrevolution.com/Zanat30. It's her all new vision. This is a light language neural recoding that is going to be happening. And I'm just having a hard time keeping up. It's so exciting because the second call is going to be looking at these emotional imprints. And I want to ask the question of everybody here. I don't want to just gloss over this, because I am sure that I've got some of these. So I'm going to ask y'all, which one of these do you feel like you have? Or maybe there's an imprint or overlay, or maybe your mom, your dad, a family member, someone in your lineage. Or what do you feel resonant with? The uncried tear, maybe a time where sorrow and sadness was withheld, and this could still be resting in the field of your eyes. The overburdened gaze, where like you just are overstimulated, your eyes cannot soften to rest. And also when an eye cannot soften, it can't see the good, right? It's always overly critical, right? It's not overly like
Absolutely.
scanning the world. What's going to get me next? Oh my gosh, look at what President so and so did. Look at this, look at that. It's like, oh my gosh, just like, look, the sun is still in the sky, folks. Uh, the weight of grief, right? And this, we had a beautiful caller that it felt like that was what was going on. The hesitant look, fear of being visible or fully present, longing to be seen. Right? Let me know which one of these you have. So not this is amazing, but as people are sharing, I'm going to keep going, because the next call, and you're going to be working through all of this energy, is the mental portal. This is call 3, December 4th, recoding perception. Now, tell me about this. What is recoding perception? What does that mean to you? It's on the page, but what does it mean to you?
Are you asking me or the
Yeah,
participants?
you.
Sorry.
Well, I will say they have been writing in. I was just gonna take a drink of tea. I was like, Okay, so the untired cry, Christy Ellis said that's definitely me. Maya Haya says, I used to feel the first three a lot in the past. Now it's the last two that really resonate to me. April says, I got all of them. So yeah, share with us. Keep sharing. But Zanat, yeah, let's go through the next set, which is going to be call number 3. These are, tell me about these. I don't know if you can see this: the fog of doubt, scarcity lens, the backward gaze, the closed window, the fractured view.
So what I through the mental, our everything about our mental is about moving forward, and the mental is the one that is the most alert, and is also the one that is attracting our new possibilities. So when there is the doubt, or and how does the doubt come in when when the when our self-esteem, our solar plexus is being damaged as we are growing up. That's where our inner uncertainty comes in, and it blocks our growth, our perception. When I look at, then the second thing that I look at is about the scarcity lens. And
Okay.
this I feel is one of the things that at various degrees, each one of us carry, because it's about the limitations, it is about the lack of our survival. And we experience, even if I have loads of money, there is always that some aspect that says that I need to work more. It's not enough. There is some lack somewhere going on. So I have worked with millionaires, and one of the things that they find themselves relentlessly working is that they cannot find themselves ever under the lens of scarcity, and not realizing they are multimillionaires, but they
Mm.
still go through the survival programming that there isn't enough. So, and that's again perception, and the perception is in our mental. And the backward gaze, one of the things that I have seen is that clinging on to the past. It's about
Yes.
I my great great grandfather had this, or my grandfather had this, or my ancestors were
Mm.
so and so, and therefore finding incompetency within oneself. And also that becomes a way of hiding. It is also a way of not wanting to move forward because I don't know if I can be as successful as them. And so always the benchmarking is the
Wow.
past. Uh,
Wow.
and
This
it was,
is amazing. I'm just blown away. Can I ask everyone again, we're going to use this as a training opportunity. Which ones of these do you feel like you are experiencing? Just let us know. I'm so curious. The closed window, I feel like this is one I have sometimes, like alternative pathways. I tend to not see that. Or I think, well, that may not work. Closed window and fractured view. Tell me about these.
so in the closed, it's the, like, in the way we look at the world is through our eyes of our parents. And
Mm.
if our parents have told us that we are not good enough, the doors have always closed. The shut of the window happens. And sometimes we are unable to see that there is an opportunity. But because we didn't hear it from our parents, those encouraging words or validation that we are waiting for them to give us, we close down all possibilities of being something different. So if I was, my great grandfather was a business guy, I also want to be a businesswoman. And maybe I could have been a doctor, but I have to follow that path. And there are no other alternative pathways available for me because I need to live up to that point of view or the way life is going to take me. And the fractured view is when there is a constant conflict of to be or not to be, and you're unable to create, you're unable to move beyond that distortion.
Mm.
And there is always this, it is also covered with doubt. So there are two things that the fractal view is, and fractal itself is not just one thing, it is a multiple thing. It's like a loop, as I see it. It's a loop within a loop and within a loop, and it plays beautifully by the mind. So that is about the mental portal.
Amazing. It's at uwealthrevolution.com/the not 30. She's going to be asking you to submit what is going on, what is happening at these different levels as you understand it, and working with people. I never realized the eyes were such gateways. And Martine just wrote in, she said, yeah, I have the suppressed tears. That's the one for me, especially when you're the eldest and your kids are looking at you to know how to act. Yeah. Uh, Thank you for the healing, says Anita. The fractured view, says Sarah. She's got filled that. These are remarkable. They resonate to so many degrees. I can see how they are all resulting from matrix programming. Yeah. And can y'all see how each one of these are keeping you from that 5D and higher reality where you are creating everything you want? Fog of doubt, says April. Close window. Yeah. I'm blown away. I mean, so this is essentially creating a reality timeline that then stops us from what our highest path might be. And we're going to go to the next one because it's just incredible. December 11th, we've got more that, and you're working through all of these. So you are going to be attuning people's eyes as gateways to this higher function to address these energetic and abundance projections of sight. So the ancestral veil, the clouded view, the diminished spark, the misaligned lens, the closed gateway. Tell me about these. And does anyone feel like maybe they have a diminished spark in their eyes? Like, oh, well, when you were young, you had the spark, you had this belief anything was possible. You were excited. You were ready to go. You were just like, full of life. People looked in your eyes and it was like, wow, who is that person? And now they may look at you and maybe you look away because you don't want people to see that you've lost your spark. I mean, I know this is like a really big deal, right? Sanat, tell us what's going to happen in call number 4.
I think when you're speaking about this, Darius, one of the things that came up is that when you said when you look away, what I saw
Yeah.
was that most people, they do not look into the eye of another person
Yes.
because there is that shame, there is that disappointment of self. And when you're looking at prosperity or you're looking at abundance,
Mm.
when you cannot look into somebody's eyes, you are not looking into the gateway of another soul, because that's how you can actually expand yourself. And so when
Oh,
I looked at this, the fourth call, the first thing that came up was definitely was the ancestral wheel, because the scarcity programming comes very deep. And and that again, coming back to the example of when I work with millionaires, they feel that they cannot have this, they cannot go into the lack of it because they are ancestral had scarcity, or they have inherited the word scarcity and now they are fighting the battle.
mm,
And it's an overlay of karma, and the ability to see perhaps the clearly that prosperity is there and there is enough and more for everyone, but that
yeah.
fear that it's not enough. And that's where that second thing comes in, is the clouded field, where it is the coherence, the heaviness, and it leaves us unfocused. It does not give us perspective. There is fragmentation that is happening, and we are torn between opportunities, and not even opportunity, they are torn between choices, and not knowing which choice is the most best fitted for us, and the regret of making a particular choice. So, and that again comes from the imbalanced root chakra with the imbalanced solar plexus, that therefore just hurts and shuts our third eye.
Wow.
And then coming to the diminished spark, and as you defined it very beautifully, is that, when you're younger, you have that spark, you have that go-getter feeling, and you know that you can conquer the world, and then you come into the world and into the system,
Right.
and you come into the system and you realize that, oh no, the the perception is being broken down. And I think our system, our education system, our parenting sometimes do not contribute for us to retain the spark. They sometimes just give us a false perspective of things. And having said that, when we look at this, it's about when the gaze loses its natural radiance, because we are born with such spark. And so to bring that spark, or returning of that spark, is what we look at in this call.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so
Well,
sorry.
oh, it's okay. I want to say it's like that old saying in the ancient texts, be in the world, but not of the world. The moment like you take on the world into your gaze, it's over. It's
Yes.
like you're just now part of the matrix. And I gotta say, oh my gosh, um, Carmel says amazing. It's something says like she turned on a light switch somewhere. Something happened. Becky says, yes, for me, it's finding the spark again after really deep, heavy chapters of healing. I would love that full, deep spark once more.
Yes,
So
dear.
yeah, oh my gosh, it all makes great sense. The eyes are a gateway to how you use your reality. Yeah, absolutely. So I want to share. We're gonna keep going through some of these different things, and I want to open up here, and we're gonna be talking more about this. As I was thinking about being the world but not of the world, was just like feeling into that. I want to talk a little more about what you're doing, and also Zanat, it's going to be 4 classes. Anything you want to say about the classes and what you're going to be doing, and also what you're going to be doing as well instantly for people, is they're all going to get something called a light language field of grace. What is that? That's going to be immediately available. So you don't have to wait for the classes to get a shift. You're also going to be getting another bonus as well called the light language infusion in the eyes. So tell me about these two pieces that everyone that goes deeper is going to get immediately.
So the first one, which is eh, when I was bringing the energy. In fact, the MP3 came to me 3, 4 months ago, before even
Mm,
I had decided that I'm going to be doing the session. And when I looked at the energy that came through, it was a
mm,
gush of energy coming through that.
mm,
And when I look at it, the first one, which is the infusion for the eyes, it's like a combination where there is a reawakening that happens, a connection between the eyes and the flow of life. It is going to bring in, it's a softness that comes in. It is making to bring in the lighter, bringing in the vision to become more lighter. It is about opening up our reception. It is about opening up our receiving and aligning ourselves to the possibilities. And each time we listen into it, each time that you will listen into it, it works differently every time. So it repairs or it heals an aspect of you that needs that attention. So that is the first MP3 that comes along with it. And the the second one, which is concentrating, the second one, which is the uh, field of grace. And I love the word, the
mm.
field of grace. And I love the imagery that the team has put also.
Yes.
It is, it's a beautiful page, I must say that, Darius. It's beautifully done. And in this, where I was being shown was that you turn yourself inwards with kindness. As I was telling Jean, you need to look at yourself and say that I did fantastic. I have done amazing. And when you start listening into this MP3, you are opening the field of your heart, your higher heart. You're bringing in the harmonizing your heart, you're harmonizing your eyes, because what I see is what I feel in my heart. So if I
Yes.
see poverty, I feel the sadness in my heart. If I see disappointment, despair, I see the shame and I feel the blame of it. And
Mm.
when I feel the loss of it, I cannot attract abundance. I cannot attract prosperity. And so when you listen, this is therefore the field of grace, where you are in the grace of acceptance of yourself, and in a way holding yourself and giving that inner, that tap on your back, that saying
Yes.
reassurance,
Yes.
amplifying your inner reassurance. And that will bring the balance in within you, because you are only answerable to yourself and how you treat yourself, because no one is going to teach us that. No one is going to come and side us for that. It is our work, our life. And it to bring in that continuous flow of understanding of yourself, this awakening, this grace has to come through within us.
Incredible. Yes, I agree. Just amazing. It's here and it is all about recoding the eyes. We're going to be sharing more about it, but you're going to get the light field of grace. You're going to get the 4 live sessions with Zanat. We dive into this, Zanat. There's so many stories. I could feel Zanat working on me. I wasn't even on the call. This feels like a dream I don't want to wake up from. I woke up the next day a completely different person. I felt like something was lifted off my chest. Nothing else could touch. I guess this person had a discomfort that left. We've discounted this. This would normally be a $1,774 value. You can get all of the classes and be connected, submit everything that energetically you're going through, and also get the 4 classes and the sight matrix calls, the light language field of grace, and also the light language infusion. It's discounted to just $227 or 2 payments of $114, and you can read through everything. People have been experiencing your work in so many different areas. I know you've worked on many parts of just kind of the whole system of our energy field and body, and people say, literally big shifts coming. All these stories just go on and on. Zanat sessions helped me tremendously. She has a powerful energy. I could feel her. She was working on my teeth. That was one of your teeth programs. And just, it's incredible. And now you're going to the eyes, which I think may very well be one of the most important areas, because they are not just physical vessels. They are the lamp of the body. They are the holder of our reality. They're the recoder of our perception, and they are, as you said, gateways to prosperity and to life itself, right? To all the goodness and richness of life we experience and perceive through the eyes. So it's like the wellspring of all of the blessings that we want is how we code that reality, Zanat. So just amazing.
Thank you.
Jean says, your reading on me was so spot on. I'm learning to let go of responsibility for others and to love myself more. Yeah, absolutely. Well, if anybody wants to have this type of experience, this is going to be personalized as well as Zanat reads the energy of everyone who submits. It's going to be profound. It's not amazing. I'll just share with everybody. It's at uwealthrevolution.com/Zanat30. Any thoughts or anything else you want to share? I mean, this has been just mind blowing. Anything coming forward for everyone here today?
Kianani misalkilami tuyulureha keleri pinu pisiliri kitalara. The kelarake turukutu. The message comes is that your eyes is not separated from your soul. They are the part of the same light expressing itself through you. Your spark is so bright. And every time you soften your gaze, your time, you allow yourself to see without judgment, without the strain. You invite life to meet you differently. You begin to experience this world not with ease, with coherence, with discernment, with intelligence. As you breathe and you grow, you restore everything. Your eyes, your sight is your secret. They are the doorways. And they expand beyond the beyond. They see beyond the beyond. You are the being of light. And every part of that is true. You are the creation and you are the creator. So treat your eyes with reverence. Treat yourself with reverence. Nurture yourself, nurture your field. And through that nurturing will come in the prosperity. Through that nurturing, you will return home. The clarity will flow. And you will go beyond the beyond. And I wish everyone a fantastic time.
Wow. They're not amazing.
Thank
Getting
you.
some comments coming in. The eyes are the physical aspect of my eyes are my physical aspect of my soul, says Christiella. Just amazing. Incredible. Incredible. If you want to check it out, it's deeper work is here. It's at uwealthrevolution.com/Zinat 30. This is an all new program. It's going to be starting up very soon, discounted, and it is all about recalibrating the 4 portals of vision and moving into your living gateway. The eyes are the living gateway to 5th dimension and beyond. Are you seeing a world? Are you seeing a reality you don't want? Are you seeing the same circumstances? Are you seeing the challenges of your ancestors showing up in your own life? Go to the page. There's full descriptions of different areas and things that Zinat has downloaded that I've never heard before. And it's truly a chance to break free. Zinat, thank you for doing this. This is
Thank you
just
very
amazing.
much.
What a gift. What a gift.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And lots of love coming in from Scotty, April, SW, Becky. This has been so beautiful. Thank you. Lots of light language. And I'm going to leave Diane and Cheryl on as well, as people may have some questions that they order and go deeper. We've discounted it. This is live. You're going to have an experience. You're going to have recordings, and you're going to be recoded from a huge, huge light essence that will be coming through Zinat in the light language. And it is very, very profound. So Zinat, thank you for being here.
Thank
This
you
was
so
just
much.
amazing.
Thank
Amazing.
you so much. Thank you to the team and thank you to everybody. Thank you, Darius, very much. God bless you.
You all are amazing. You matter. You are so powerful. And we can begin to create a new world and see a new future. And we need to begin to expand these eyes. And as I said, so many stories about people throughout history who could not see something different. And, it reminds me, as I said early on, where Coronado landed, in South America, and the native peoples couldn't see the ships. And they tried to show these people the ships, and they said, look, these are the ships we came in on, and they couldn't see them because their frameworks could not expand to even imagine that a sailing vessel, something like that, could exist. So I leave the call with these questions like, what is it that's waiting for you once your vessel, once your awareness expands to be able to receive it? And are you being held back by any of these old patterns? And if you are, I think we should let them go. It's time. Zinat, I'll let you just send
Thank
everybody
you.
off in love. Thank you for this. This was great.
Yes. Thank you very much. God bless everyone. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Much love. We'll see you soon. Take care, everyone.
Yes.
Check it out. uwealthrevolution.com/Zinat 30. See you soon. Thanks,
Take
Zinat.
care. Bye-bye.